Welcome to After Hours, where stories come alive after dark. I'm Vaughn, and this is it. The final episode. The end of the inheritance. 12 nights. 12 episodes. One story that started with a dead man's letter and ends, well, you're about to find out how it ends. Thank you for being here. For every episode. For every comment. For every moment you've spent in the dark with me. Now, let's finish this. Previously on the inheritance, Marcus made a choice. Instead of hiding behind the dead man's switch forever, he released everything. All the evidence. All the testimony. All the truth. At 5:47 p.m., the broadcast went live. New York Times, Washington Post, independent journalists. Victor Cole's video testimony playing on screens across the country. The council is exposed. The FBI has opened an investigation. The world is waking up to 50 years of secrets. But the council doesn't go down quietly. And the people Marcus has exposed, they have resources, power, and nothing left to lose. Tonight, the reckoning. This is episode 12. The finale. 48 hours after the broadcast. I'd barely slept. Couldn't stop watching the news. Couldn't stop seeing my father's face on every channel, hearing his voice confess to crimes I was still trying to understand. In what's being called the largest financial conspiracy in American history, federal agents have arrested 14 individuals connected to the organization known as the Council. Among those arrested, James Chen, former vice chairman of Pacific Rim Holdings, and Victoria Shaw, CEO of Shaw Pharmaceuticals. 14 arrests, and more coming. But not everyone. Not yet. Harrison Whitmore III remains at large this morning. The FBI has issued a warrant for his arrest, but sources say Whitmore left the country shortly before the broadcast aired. He ran. They all ran. The ones who could. Will they catch him? I don't know. Whitmore has resources. Properties in countries without extradition. Enough money to disappear forever if he wants to. So he just gets away with it? For now. Maybe. But his empire is burning. His name is toxic. Every company he ever owned is under investigation. Every person who ever worked with him is scrambling to distance themselves. He's alive, but his legacy is destroyed. Vera, we have a problem. What kind of problem? Wexler. Graham Wexler. I saw the news. He wasn't arrested. He wasn't arrested because no one can find him. He went dark right before the broadcast. Disappeared off every grid. Marcus, Wexler isn't like the others. He's not a businessman trying to protect his reputation. He's an operations man. A cleaner. He spent 40 years making problems disappear. You think he's coming for us. I know he's coming for you. One of my contacts intercepted a communication. Wexler has activated a team. 4 operatives. Last known heading, New Jersey, in background. New Jersey? We're in New Jersey. You need to move, now. Layer 6, the storage unit in Queens. It has everything you need. Cash, passports, escape routes. We can't just keep running, Vera. You can't stay still either. Not while Wexler is active. Listen to me carefully. Wexler has nothing left to lose. The council is finished. His entire network is being dismantled. The only thing he has left is revenge. He blames you, Marcus. You personally. You're the one who pulled the trigger on the broadcast. You're the one who destroyed everything he spent his life building. Then let him come, Marcus. I'm serious. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of hiding. If Wexler wants to find me, let him find me. Marcus, that's insane, is it? We released the evidence. The FBI is investigating. The whole world knows the truth. What's Wexler going to do? Kill me and somehow make it all go away. He might not care about making it go away. He might just want you dead. Then I'll be dead. And the truth will still be out there. The evidence will still exist. My father's testimony will still play on every screen. I won't spend the rest of my life running from Graham Wexler. That's not living. That's just dying slowly. What do you want to do? Contact the FBI. Tell them where I am. Tell them Wexler is coming. You want to use yourself as bait? I want to end this. One way or another. Vera made the call. The FBI dispatched a team, 4 agents, en route to our location. Wexler and his operatives were somewhere in New Jersey. The FBI was 20 minutes away. We waited. You know this could get us killed. I know. And you're okay with that? No. But I'm less okay with the alternative. The alternative being, what? Running forever? The alternative being you, looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life, never feeling safe, never being able to go back to teaching, to normal life, to anything resembling what we had before. I can't give you back what we lost, Desiree, but I can give you an ending, a real ending, not a lifetime of waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I was thinking about? That first conversation. In the apartment. When you told me about the documents. About the council. About the threats. What about it? I was so angry. Angry that you'd been keeping secrets. Angry that you'd put us in danger without telling me. But I was also, I don't know, relieved. Like I finally understood why you'd always kept part of yourself walled off. Why there was always this distance between us, even when we were close. You weren't hiding from me. You were hiding from everything. From your father. From your past. From whatever you sensed but couldn't name. And now? Now I see all of you. The good parts and the scared parts and the parts that come from a father who could never tell the truth. And I'm still here. That's either the FBI or Wexler. How do we know which? We don't. Marcus Cole? I'm Agent Morrison, FBI. We've secured the perimeter. How many agents? 6. 2 more units en route. We've been wanting to talk to you, Mr. Cole. Your broadcast has given us more leads than we've had in years. You're welcome. This isn't a thank you visit. You're also a witness. Possibly a co-conspirator. Your father was part of this organization for 3 decades. My father gathered the evidence that's letting you make arrests. He spent the last year of his life building the case you're now prosecuting. That remains to be determined. Morrison, we've got movement. 3 vehicles approaching from the south. No plates. Tactical formation. That's Wexler. Everyone inside. Now. It happened fast. The FBI agents moved into position. Desiree and I were pushed to the back room. Through the window, I could see headlights approaching through the trees. Graham Wexler, the man who'd hunted us across 3 states, the man who'd killed my father, coming to finish what he'd started, through megaphone. This is the FBI. You are surrounded. Put down your weapons and surrender. I don't know who fired first. One moment, it was quiet. The next, the world was exploding. Get down. I'd never been in a firefight before. Never heard bullets passing close enough to feel the air move. Never smelled gunpowder and fear mixed together in a space too small for either. It lasted maybe 2 minutes. Felt like hours. Clear. Area secure. Cole, you okay in there? Calling out. We're fine. We're coming out. The front yard looked like a war zone. Broken glass. Bullet holes. 3 black SUVs with their doors hanging open. And on the ground, surrounded by FBI agents, Graham Wexler. He was alive, wounded, bullet to the shoulder, but alive. His operatives hadn't been so lucky. 2 dead, 1 in custody. I walked over to where he lay. The FBI agents let me through. Maybe they understood that I needed this, that I needed to see him, face to face, one last time. Wexler looked up at me, blood on his shirt, hate in his eyes, weakly bitter. Victor's boy, you think this changes anything? I think it changes everything. The council will survive. It always survives. You cut off 1 head, 2 more grow back. Maybe, but you won't be there to see it. Your father was a coward. Spent 30 years taking our money, living in our shadow, then decided to grow a conscience. My father was a lot of things. But in the end, he chose the truth. The truth. You think truth matters? You think exposing us changes how the world works. The powerful protect each other. Always have. Always will. Maybe. But not today. Today, you're lying on the ground with a bullet in your shoulder, about to spend the rest of your life in prison. Today, your entire organization is being dismantled. Today, the people you terrorized for 50 years are finally safe. That's what truth does. Not overnight, not completely, but it matters. You're naive. Maybe. But I can sleep at night. We'll take it from here, Mr. Cole. They loaded Wexler into an ambulance, blue and red lights painting the trees. The last leader of the council, reduced to a wounded man in handcuffs. It wasn't everything I'd wanted. Whitmore was still out there. Others had escaped. The damage they'd done couldn't be undone. But it was something. It was a start. The FBI took our statements, offered us protective custody. We declined. Desiree wanted to see the sunrise, so we drove to the shore, parked at an empty beach, and watched the sky turn pink. It's over. Mostly. There'll be trials. Testimony. Years of legal process. But the running part. The hiding. That's over. That's over. What do we do now? I don't know. I've spent my whole life running from my father's shadow. Now that it's gone, I don't know who I am without something to run from. Maybe that's the point. Maybe now you get to find out. You said you wanted to go back to teaching. Find a school somewhere quiet. I did say that. Is that still what you want? I don't know. I'm not the same person who said that. A lot has changed. But I know I want to be with you. Whatever comes next. Wherever we end up. Even after everything? Especially after everything. You're not your father, Marcus. You had the same choice he had. Hide the truth or face the consequences. And you chose differently. That's who you are. That's the man I married. The one who couldn't live with secrets, even when the secrets would have kept him safe. I love you. I know. We stayed at the beach until the sun was fully up. Then we drove. Not running. Just moving. Figuring out what came next. Over the following months, the trials began. 14 members of the council convicted on various charges. Wexler got life without parole. Whitmore was eventually found in a non-extradition country. He lived another 3 years before dying of a heart attack. The real kind, not the council kind. My father's testimony played at every trial. His face. His voice. His confession. The dead man's final truth, haunting the people who'd killed him. Desiree and I settled in a small town upstate. She went back to teaching. I wrote a book. We built something new. I still think about my father, about the choices he made, about the prison he built for himself and the key he passed to me. He wasn't a good man, but at the end, he tried to be. And maybe that's all any of us can do. Try to be better than we were. Try to leave the world a little less broken than we found it. Try to tell the truth, even when the truth is dangerous. My name is Marcus Cole. My father was a criminal. And this is my inheritance. And that is the end. The inheritance. 12 episodes. One story. I want to thank you. Truly. When I started telling this story, I didn't know if anyone would listen. Didn't know if anyone would care about Marcus and Desiree and Victor and all the ghosts between them. But you did. You showed up. Every night, you commented, you theorized. You cared. That means everything to me. This might be the end of the inheritance, but it's not the end of After Hours. There are more stories to tell. More nights to spend together in the dark. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because I'll be back soon with something new. And when I am, I hope you'll be here.